All right, let's see if we can make it to the end if we try. I really liked round 2 of trivia last night. There was I think I examined all of these. It was 8 questions. Well, you had to have 8 answers, but there were 7 questions, and then the 8th one is what do they have in common? And the answers were for the 8. I only figured it out because we got answer number 1 and answer number 3. And once I had those, I knew immediately what it was. And the answers in that category were Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Studebaker, television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe.
There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Thought that was clever.
The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
The console of an antique computation device. There was a generator upstairs with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Also, if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. It's literally the lyrics in order and part of the song. I listened to that song for like 2 months in high school for some reason. Zubas for miso? Like cat Zubas? Oh, Zubas that I wear. No, I want cat Zubas with a little tail hole. Antique computation device.
Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. Sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Emergency open, light. How about light?
Nothing happens.
Radio.
The dial slides under the glass.
Extra room and sacrificial pants for drool.
On the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
What emergency?
We need to restore power before using this, officer. We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
The boat engine.
No.
There's barely anything left. That won't work. My kinema. I don't want to do that. Let's just look around.
All right. Kangaroo pouches? Oh my god.
The console stands
I wonder
by.
if he would stay in that.
Urgence ouvert reads a dial key. Allumé reads another. The frequency band says radio diffuser.
In a papoose. I mean, he does climb on my shoulder and sit there. He was doing that this morning while I made coffee.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
I'm guessing the electronics open this, or there's maybe a backup key since there's a keyhole.
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open.
Where's your sense of adventure, Kim?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother.
Climb you and pass out in the hood?
Powerful
Aww.
engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
Reverse an old hoodie? I might try that. Miso might be too big now. He's a big boy.
Yeah, on the console just southeast of here.
Hey, good morning,
Remember?
Gergs.
Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
Does this go back outside? Oh, we have to go up to go to that door. Okay. Yeah, that's the one that goes outside. Investigate this.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift. with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell.
I was just carrying gas around with me that whole time.
There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
I don't know where that came from.
That should do it.
Tap on the side.
tank is far from full, but there should be enough inside to keep it going for a day.
All right, so we got plenty of time. I have the inventory of a person trying to fly without checking luggage. Yes. Look at this. What am I carrying? I've got I have speed. First of all, this person's not getting on the flight. Cigarettes. A tape player, a bag full of cans. Actually, I think it's empty right now. Pry bar. Yeah, this guy's not getting on the plane. A gun. Real Madison Cawthorn energy.
A dim golden glow.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
It's a name you haven't thought about in a long time. I'm sorry to bring it up. Should have just let you go on without thinking of that name.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
What's there?
I don't know.
A thin wisp
I don't know
of
why you
smoke
would.
rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
Okay. No. Just gonna be like a trip mine or something. Hang on. Was there more over there before? I didn't realize that was a way out. I thought I was just investigating something. Okay. Yeah. That guy's got a gun. I've got 2 bullets. Howdy, stranger.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Oh my god, it's Val. It was Val all along.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Belmagrave?
It's a 3 Angong 446.
Huh.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
You've retained your eyesight.
Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains.
Your eyes are shit.
motionless.
Did you close the door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Fueled the
I
generator.
should have burned that console down.
How'd you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
It was cool.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Just sorry for disturbing you. Goodbye. The Sinyao
You
commune?
heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
I don't think he's gonna put the gun down, and he seems pretty calm.
No.
Whoa, Kim. Jesus, man. Shoots one guy and he thinks he's Annie Oakley all of a sudden.
Now,
Sudden.
sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross. Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol.
It's a lot of numbers.
I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been here?
43 years. No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took for reaction to take hold.
It's reaction.
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
When was
May
that?
the 13th, '08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital, all at once, All the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame,
Ah.
still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
And you didn't go to the map
No.
room.
I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human.
Let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
What's the island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's
Dwat.
a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used
The
for?
congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing, against the whole world. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against
No, I'm a good
50
cop.
million people Deathblow? You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis,
Fair.
the black-eyed angel.
How have you survived?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
Like 8 out of 10?
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
You need to be looked over.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
How have you coped mentally? I think I know the answer to this question.
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How'd you get between here and the
At
mainland?
night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
You just don't want to.
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves. Right, I know.
So you've been there?
I wonder if he destroyed them.
Sleeping.
No, he didn't.
Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
Small bunker?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your termless
You're
surrender.
The RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
Let's just say let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans le Monde.
Game is dark. Each stream it keeps getting darker. Yeah. I'm an enemy of humanity.
Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon.
Yeah, I'm a cop.
I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
Shit, man.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit.
43 years.
43 years and 10 months.
Steadfast.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. Two police officers.
Miso's
step
twitching.
out
I
of
think
the
he's dreaming.
whirling Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across.
Oh, were those the
Plaza
two that
Maze
were okay?
in dark red government marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk.
So those must be the two that were hanging out at the Whirling in Rags that didn't want to
The
talk to me.
officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting
For what?
for her to return.
Her who?
Girl child, revolution. Always.
I have given my life to Mazovian socioeconomics.
A waste. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
Got it.
Like you belong to the moralist party. There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Composure. I don't know if I have any bonuses to composure.
I ain't going anywhere.
Let's find out though. I have plenty of levels that I can use. Oh, +1. I'll wear the Royal Carabiner jacket. I like that. -1. Oh, there's another one. Can I level up composure at all? Oh, a lot. Yeah. Let's give that one. I should have tried it first since it was white, but whatever.
What do you want?
Really?
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit. He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But
Minions of capital.
All right, 83.
What do you want?
There
what
we go.
strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface.
Well, who doesn't?
Unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair. Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns, as if forced on him in a way. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
Sounds like my character. Does.
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile. Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
I mean, he already told us how his memory is. It's not good.
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
Yeah, me neither.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
What about amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star. No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
What have you been using the gun
I've
for?
used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
Dude needs a toothbrush.
Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Curious about that one.
Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you, and in them a chill, like electricity running up your spine, crawling into your skull.
It's totally me. Wow.
All is not as it seems.
Who's that?
Detective.
Killed people after
What did
fighting
I just
stopped?
say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
Nah, I fucked it up.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
Apparently you are.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The fascist death squad.
Oh, yes. That one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
What's a pederast, Walter?
The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Wait.
Bro, that was louder than I thought it would be.
Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Wait, don't forget the footprints.
Stop hitting yourself.
The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Thank you, Head.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself. I'm sorry, this didn't do anything. Usually hurting yourself does.
Officer, a word?
Sure.
I think we may have this. From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later.
How do you think it's going?
Good. We are doing very good. He wants to confess, I can see that. We just need to pile it on a little more. The more we have on him, the closer he is.
What do you think I'm missing?
Ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest.
Okay.
I think we should check out the post.
He doesn't have to hold in court. Just establish a line of sight and he'll do the rest himself.
Also, the gun. We should pick it up and discuss it in front of him. Make a show of it.
Yes, sire.
Okay.
Make a production of this examination.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything.
There is palpable excitement in his
Gotcha.
tone. He likes him for this. A lot. But there's something more, too.
Can I go this way? No. Okay, so we got to go back through the bunker. Looks like there was something down here. Oh my god. Okay. Where the hell can I go? There's that door on the other side, but I don't know how to get there. I can't select those from here. Oh, what was that? Fall, fall, fall. The dream exit? I mean,
Soft covers.
Ah. Oh, so there's this door too. Okay. Dude. Okay. The reeds.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea, leave it all, and walk in with a bottle in your hand. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go, step in. It's been too long.
But I mean,
Perhaps
and we're
there's
so
someone
close.
there, under the water, waiting for you.
I'm not gonna do it
Maybe
now.
You know it's going to hurt.
Oh, more gas.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns.
Just sitting here smoking with gas?
And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Take one out of the can. No.
That embrasure. What can you see through it?
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Let's just draw it out. Touch the concrete.
Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the left.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right.
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
Right between them.
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
Yep.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone, lying on the mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek.
All right, see you, Val.
Hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this.
That scene from The Wire. I really gotta watch The Wire. I've started it. I think I've gotten like halfway into season 2. I just never stick with it for some reason. I've tried starting it a couple times.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Why didn't we come here before?
Why? We don't go everywhere
That's
in
true.
the 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure. Don't beat yourself.
I knew that was going to damage my morale.
We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
It's the worst season. Good morning, Rockopotamus.
Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here, I feel it.
When I was watching it, like, I think it was just another case of me getting distracted by other things. Like, I didn't make the conscious decision to stop watching. I was enjoying it, but just gotta make the time for it. Alright, we got him. Let's see what Kim thinks first.
Yes.
Never mind. He doesn't think anything.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state.
It did the same
on
thing.
The butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangle.
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles in a small bout of wind.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. He's liking this.
Come on, Kim, don't enjoy it.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him later.
All right, one more time.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Tear into him again. Pile it on him.
For Maybells?
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Well, time for Miso to go too. I like how Miso leaves right when Val does. Come here. My butt. Your way.
Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Almost. But you need one more. Just one. Or maybe two.
Brand of boots you wearing?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Doras.
Fucking imbecile.
Spiral pattern.
The maker is called Sensory. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
simpler than that?
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something.
We still don't really have much.
The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. More. He's gonna crack. But you need a little more.
Shot came from this
I
island.
saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession.
It's cat hair all over me. Ugh.
You have been here a long time, Mr. Dross. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part. Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio
Extra
Grosh is
insulation.
right. You have worms in your brain.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep me warm.
Leave no stone unturned. Get him on what matters most.
I don't know if the gun... Alright, sure.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that. Jumping hoops for the liberals.
Damn libs.
You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, eh? Going against automatic rifles with a flame bomb. Of course you got all those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? .46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
We still need him to confess.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner.
There we go.
Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
So you killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you.
Don't hush me.
Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick's still in her. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white. Or what's
Hey,
left
Zandy.
of it anyway.
Good morning.
My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Motive, a revolution.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
Morning's going well. I think we just caught a killer. You just missed the cat.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Now he's up doing cat stuff.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
Pull the trigger.
Click.
There you go.
then you pull the trigger.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
Harsh critic. Anything else you didn't like?
Tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists, everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Fucking Mr. Clare.
Yes, the fly larva in his container.
Fly larva.
He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Oh, have a good drive back. Good luck with your studies. Got fired pretty quick after landing that movie review gig. Martinez sounds like Facebook.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht.
Yeah, she kind of
licking her
sucks.
lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around
he's dead.
in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Ugh.
That's all the rich really want.
I'm just gonna keep nodding.
Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, It's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt, Frisell, is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores...
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
All right.
Glad? It's all gone.
You're under arrest.
Is what you plan to say.
Wait, what?
Before you can get past, you're under. The lieutenant interrupts you.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
Okay.
The old man looks at his rifle.
I trust him.
A little startled for some reason.
So good.
You startled him.
He's not all
Maybe it
bad.
was the silence. He quickly gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid of?
What did you not like?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
I don't think it was jealousy.
Splat. A bloody spitball lands on the firewood.
Well,
Them. Jealousy.
yeah,
It's a
okay.
reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out. Soothed in the arms of a young woman.
So it was, I mean, it was
I
kind of
wanted him
jealousy,
to
though.
Die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her
Yeah, that sounds like
thighs.
jealousy.
I knew he'd be there for one
In a
more
sense.
second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now
Horrible,
that
but
I
has some
think of
understandable
it,
qualities.
I wasn't aiming for his
Especially
mouth.
interesting, yes.
I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
Well, you missing made it harder to find
He
him.
wants to see her covered in blood. To punish her.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
You stare at them too. In your mind, her innocent stain still turns to leaf. Airport bag in hand. Silks flowing in her wake. See you tomorrow, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air. Burning. The old man raises his gaze. Something glimmers in the corner of his black eye. A bitter taste on his tongue.
How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
For a person who comes out of nowhere, they managed to sell it really well. Yeah, I was thinking the same. Like, just all of a sudden at the end is this random guy you've never seen before, but he's a really fleshed out
The
character.
building on the coast. What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up
In the water?
ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
Her passport and tickets to Villiers,
Well, it's probably gone now since she left.
and from there to Cachet Brut. Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean... I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. And a body, hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revishal's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you.
I'm not blind, am I?
How does he know that about her body?
It quickly comes to you.
See them through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Okay. What about through a window?
Like that, too? Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny. Yes, that, too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
So it wasn't about him.
Her.
It was a little about him, though.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
I think he'll know that's a lie.
Gone. I knew it. She
He's
kept
watching
staring
everything.
At the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lausanne's central aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still, she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving, for another, far south. Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements, and water, and across it, a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. The old man has fallen silent, staring at your feet. The burnt logs in the fire are moist from the sea air.
Oh, we can't do that anymore. I think we're done now.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up, The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand?
I'll be surprised if he survives 44 days.
Do you understand?
But no, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
There it is
Wow.
again. To your north, as it
Lucky
has
one.
been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it, something completely different. It sounds like a bow.
There's somebody
very
else.
slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this really us?
Your skin crawls.
The fuck?
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence. It's still there.
It's the
An
fast.
unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
What are you talking about?
No fucking way.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. It's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you.
You have no idea what this thing is. You missed the majority of this game. So there was like this little, like not throwaway thing, but there was a cryptozoologist hanging out at the hotel, and he's like, I've gotta find this, imaginary creature that like doesn't exist, and now it turns out that it does exist.
Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Listen, like a sprinkler.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
That's true. Val, it's the phasmid.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
You knew about that? Ah, man. Okay, do it.
With the sound of metal sliding against metal, the lieutenant reveals the lens. The glass.
Oh, it's gonna
glints
scare it
in
away.
his hand
Shit.
As he begins to slide in an ampoule, you see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. The motions are quick, sudden.
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away.
Okay.
I need a better moment when it's not looking.
I'll wait. I'm on standby, he thinks, his hands sweaty around the machine. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly.
Laid the pheromone on thick. Dude, if I fail this... Okay.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out
Smell like a
series
sexy
of
bug.
ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness.
Aww.
Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
If you wash the pheromones off, this encounter doesn't happen at all? What the fuck?
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming slowly.
Oh, I'm gonna get
The
eaten.
foam is white, then yellowish.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one.
What are you doing?
I exist.
Me too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire.
Fire? Where? I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph, like sap from a one palm. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist.
By what?
Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn. sure?
No.
Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna.
That's cool.
No, the leg
Oh.
tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully someone ate it. The next time I molded, I grew an antenna again.
The other guy we were just talking with is hanging out behind me. Just yeah, I did notice too that like he's off screen, perhaps intentionally, running away. I'm a
So
detective.
am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards.
Where's he gonna go? There's a boat.
What were you born to detect?
Not really with it though. That's true. The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration. Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
Where does this come from?
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
And
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
this is getting way too existential. What are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molting, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys.
It may have unknown, dangerous biochemical characteristics that help it maintain its camouflage.
No one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminoles Islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me.
Thank you for the follow.
I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
Is this a dream?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Are you poisonous?
I do not have a starter display, so I use a neurodegenerative element to aid in camouflage. Do not worry. It is only destructive over long periods of time.
Okay, what if I say that's
No.
insane?
You are.
Yeah.
The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
What is the pale?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind. You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Hey.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
I'll be extra careful.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim?
It doesn't look like that, no.
Okay, good.
No. What's going on?
Final fate of mankind.
Is it somehow related to the case?
Case is meaningless.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
Okay.
No, there is one more.
You are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class. She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
What if I raise my
The
hand?
insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence. No, stop. Be afraid. The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem, on either side of the insect's small head.
Alright.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
It's gonna be gone the second he takes it.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
Well, we got the
phasmid
picture, though.
freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
For all time.
Carefully pet it.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing.
Okay, let's not push it.
A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening, wave by wave from its stupor.
Whiskers are sensitive. Let's back off.
Don't say it. Are you sure? This may be the only chance you get to touch it.
Well, I touched it once.
The
Okay, fine.
arthropod towers above you, frozen in place. A twitch passes one of its
Okay.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying. resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight.
One chance to
This
snog a
antenna is
phasmid.
much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture.
Lick your
The creature
finger.
in front of you stays frozen.
Okay, I gotta do
It
it.
tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
All right, now we got
Another
it.
shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Well, only for long periods of time.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
I'll miss you.
And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it.
All right, the guy's still
In the
here.
place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
What's in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Oh, was that the armor? Yeah. Huh. All right. Anyway, back to the suspect, like
What
nothing
is it?
ever happened.
What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance. A light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it?
No,
Mr.
I'm going to
Doras?
work. I'm just late.
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. We should think about getting back to the mainland, to get help. He'll be safe here, if we don't take too long.
Okay. I think we should call it here, though. After that wild experience. Alright, I am gonna get to work. Yeah, feed the cat, too. The cat needs food. Oh, yeah. I would like to finish, but yeah, I think it's safe to say Monday will be the end. Thank you guys for hanging out. That was nuts.